This is absolutely criminal.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Absolutely Criminal Live. This is Andrew Martin, and I'm right beside...
Tiffie Lou.
What's going on, Tiffie Lou?
Nothing.
How's everybody doing tonight?
So who do we have here? We've got Carol, Sig, Renee, Wesley. Oh yeah, Wesley says that his kid's using him as a chauffeur, but he's lurking around.
All right.
That sounds kind of gross.
Lurk all you want.
A strange tennis girl, and I guess that's all I got so far. Or at least that's all that's spoken up anyway, I should say. All
right. Well, if you've been on the internet in the last couple days, you know that only like two things have happened, but they're really huge. The first one is the man who almost lost his life to an acorn.
Ooh, Nanya just bought it in. Hi, Nanya.
Hey, welcome. Big video that
okay, wait, repeat what you said. He lost his what to an acorn?
Well, he almost lost his life because of an acorn. And then we'll take a look.
You know, they give you diarrhea if you eat them raw. Is that what happened?
No, but he would have been better off eating a raw acorn.
Okay.
And then we're going to go down to Fulton County, Georgia, and check in with Fani Willis. She's the prosecutor in the Donald Trump election trial down there. And we don't talk politics, but sometimes, just like George Santos, things transcend politics.
Is she just as good as Shannon?
Nah, she's a different kind of person.
Okay.
Also, I'll see what you think. But yeah, I like courtroom drama, and there was plenty of courtroom drama down in Georgia.
Hey, Colleen.
Hey, welcome.
I like it when people just kind of pop in.
And then, of course, Colonel Underpants is in the midst of his confession, and we'll watch a bit more of that.
Yes, because I haven't seen it all yet. You keep everything a secret from me.
That's right. There's just 2 parts left. So. But first, we have a comment of the day. All right, yeah, just one today, and we can't go a whole show without mentioning the Adelsons.
Hey, Aida.
Welcome. So this is about Donna and her boy. Wonder why Donna doesn't realize that she's going down the same path as Charlie. Remember, she hired the same lawyer that lost the case for her.
I saw this comment.
Yep. Yeah. Why doesn't her daughter or husband tell her to do everything differently, if no other reason but to not do anything like Charlie did? Yeah. You would think you would want to try to find the opposite strategy.
Yeah.
And go with that. So it raised a lot of eyebrows when she hired him. But
I can't believe she hired him. I'm like, your son just lost, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's got to be a situation
same case, dude.
He owes the family something, the godmother.
Right.
So yeah, who knows? But
Nanya asked, what do you think Harvey's doing right now?
Oh gosh. Well, he's probably, I don't know. What does he do?
I don't know. I just picture him like crocheting or playing solitaire.
I think he's just getting a breath of fresh air without Donna around. I think she kind of runs the show and he goes along with it.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've been married for so long. Maybe he doesn't know what a breath of fresh air feels like.
That's true.
Yeah.
So,
maybe he doesn't know what.
Presumably he's missing her. And I don't know. A lot of people feel that he was in on the plan, but I'm not quite sure.
And I said,
I like to think he's getting milkers and drugs everywhere. Hey, you're 80 years old. You might be going to jail for the rest of your life.
Xanax.
If there's
addictions, kicking in.
If there's anything you haven't tried, you may as well do it now.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. All right. So this happened the other day. On November 12th, 2023, Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office deputies down in Florida had responded to a call in reference to an initial call of a vehicle driving around honking its horn and disrupting the peace since 3 a.m. A second call for service came in when with a woman stating her boyfriend, 22-year-old Marquise Jackson, had committed grand theft auto, a felony offense, and had been calling and texting her threats. The victim provided text messages she said had been taken from inside her vehicle, showing what appeared to be a firearm suppressor pointing at the dash of the victim's vehicle. Jackson showed up at the scene around 9:09 a.m. and was detained, searched, handcuffed, and placed in the rear of Deputy Jesse Hernandez's patrol vehicle.
Wow, say that fast.
And Deputy Jesse Hernandez, he's our protagonist today. He's our
your hero,
anti-hero.
Anti-hero.
The victim told deputies Jackson.
Then he's the antagonist.
There you go. The victim told deputies Jackson had a silencer, and she was not sure where it was, and that also he had more than one weapon. And that's important, that the officer thought the gentleman in the back of his car had a silencer on his weapon. As Deputy Hernandez was returning with a victim's rights form for the caller, other deputies found the victim's vehicle on Hunt Club Street. Now, Deputy Hernandez was approaching the passenger side rear door of his patrol car to do a secondary search of Jackson when he heard a pop sound, which he perceived to be a gunshot, and he believed he had been hit. And that's where we're going to pick up here. Now, there are two different camera angles in this setup. The first is from his sergeant, and so you'll hear him yell in the background, "Shots fired," and then she comes to his assistance. Then we'll see it from his view, and then I have a view that's linked up with both of them at the same time. But you have to see this.
Your tag number off the top of your head? Okay, it's okay. What? Let's go! Where? Right there? Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Where is he? Where is he?
You see him crawling there, the cop.
Oh my gosh.
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. I got a deputy down.
So they each unloaded their magazines into that car, and it sounded like a couple dozen shots.
Yeah, like not stopping.
Marquise Jackson is in the back of that patrol car.
What the heck?
Yeah. So now we're going to see it from Deputy Hernandez's point of view. And I've seen this 1,000 times, but I've never been able to hear the Acorn hitting the top of the car, what he thought was a gunshot.
Oh my gosh.
But watch carefully. It's like he's in a video game. It's really bizarre how he reacts to this, and a little bit over the top. So here's from Deputy Hernandez's view. He's approaching.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know.
Where? Right where? I'll just randomly shoot.
Yeah. So first of all, he does this. You see it in ninja movies. He does this double roll here as he walks by, and apparently an acorn falls on the car. We'll take a look at it one more time.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots
I didn't even hear the acorn. Wait, go back.
Shots
Go back.
fired!
Yeah, no.
I don't. Are we supposed to hear it?
I have never been able to hear it. But let us know if you've.
I don't know
heard
why
it.
I'm leaning in. I've got headphones.
Right. Here, one more time.
Shots fired!
I hear nothing.
Shots fired! Shots fired! You know.
And then
Oh my God.
unloads into
Yeah.
the car.
Every bullet I have is now gone.
Yes.
I'm hit!
Thank
I'm hit!
God he's a bad shot. Because you'll find out at the end of this, Marquise Jackson was not injured miraculously.
Whoa.
Yes. So he has resigned. There's not been any charges brought against him, but he's no longer a police officer. Now, here's a split screen view of him and the sergeant. These are linked up in time.
Tag number off the top of your head. It's okay.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
What? What?
Shots fired!
Where? Right there? Jesse! Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Get back! Where is he?
Everywhere!
Where is he?
In the car! I was shot! In the car! Oh!
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. Shots fired. I got a deputy down.
Deputy down. That's just because he dropped to the ground.
He thought he'd been hit. Listen.
I'm good. I feel weird, but I'm good.
Why do you feel weird? Like confused?
Yeah. So yeah, he goes on to say that he thinks it hit his vest. So he thought he felt a shot.
Oh, okay.
And well, first he thought he heard a shot, determined to be the chipmunks up to some pranks in the tree. And yeah, so I guess he thought it was a silenced weapon. And I know you're supposed to trust your partner, but
she just unloaded her whole gun.
Right, without knowing what.
Not even knowing where.
Yeah.
Just over there somewhere? Okay.
So they determined that it was not a justifiable shooting, but
well, at least no one got injured.
I mean, thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, I think charges should be brought against him as it is for endangering the guy's life.
Oh, look who showed up. Hey, Green Eyes.
Hey, welcome. Love you guys. Okay, so that is the story of the Acorn cop.
No, you just blew over Green Eyes. Okay.
I saw Green Eyes. I see you out there.
All right.
Welcome.
Yeah. All right.
All right. We love you all. How is everybody doing today? You look at the bottom of the screen there and you see scrolling by some of our biggest supporters. They pay a couple bucks a month to
that's that's underestimating. They pay $3.
They pay $3. That's right. A few. And access to some Amy Day content. We're going over the
little bit of extra stuff.
Yeah. So and they support our channel. Thank you very much. And a great way to support our channel is just hit thumbs up and subscribe if you're enjoying yourself.
And a better way is to share it.
And share it with friends. Yeah.
You hear me.
I guarantee you we're the best true crime channel your friends have never heard of.
My Fani Valentine.
My Fani Valentine.
Oh, Fani.
Yes. She's Fani, don't call me Fani Willis. And she is the lead prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia. And like I said, I don't know enough to talk about politics, and I'm kind of sick of them, really. I wish we had more choices than
that's the lawyer. Fani?
Fani.
And that's how you spell it?
That's how you spell it.
Oh,
yeah. So that's Fani. And let me show you here. That's Fani, but we're not going to her yet. All right. So
what are we looking at here?
I'll just give you a little bit of background in case you've been in a cave. The controversy centers on Willis's professional relationship with Nathan Wade, whom she had hired as a special prosecutor in the high-profile case against Donald Trump and his allies over alleged election interference. Allegations have surfaced that Willis and Wade had a personal relationship, that they may have influenced her decision to hire him and could represent a conflict of interest. Now, it's all about when they started getting cozy, and when she hired him, he received about $300,000 from the county.
Wow.
And
I got to get to know people in the county.
Yeah. So it's been claimed that Willis and Wade took lavish vacations paid for with funds from the prosecution.
Willis and Wade, doesn't that sound like a law office?
Well, they might have to go off and form their own law office.
I mean,
now.
I'm just saying, it
Willis
just sounds
and
like something advertised in like Yellow Pages.
So it raised concerns about the misuse of taxpayer dollars and potential federal crimes. So yeah, so the other side has requested that she be removed from the case. That's what we're looking at now. So she has been compelled to testify, and also her boyfriend, who is the special prosecutor in this case, whom she hired. And it all comes down to, like I said, when they met. And
so this could be like a conflict of interest situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with the election case, but this is all about does she
lawyer
stay on?
setup.
Right.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So as we unpause here, Nathan Wade is going to walk in the door in the right corner of there's Nathan.
Oh, hi.
And we picked out some of the best highlights of today, and
he's someone you notice.
He lights up a room when he walks into it. He better be careful.
I know, right?
My name's Nathan Wade, Nathanwade.
Good morning, Mr. Wade.
Good morning.
January 8th, 2024, when I filed the motion to disqualify you and alleged that you had a romantic relationship with Miss Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
After that, you updated these responses, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so
she could be the new Real Housewife of Atlanta now that her legal career is over. She does seem like somebody that could be on a reality show, to be honest.
Right.
So, hey.
Your new responses, you now changed your answer from that you didn't have any of this to you're asserting the privilege under 24-5-505, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They asked you for documents about travel with a romantic partner in December 2023. And you under oath said you did not have any of those, correct?
I did not.
Okay.
And they asked me about gifts.
Right.
I never purchased a gift for this.
She can't boing the dude she hired or vice versa. Yeah, it's forbidden, especially if you don't tell anybody about it.
I don't tell everybody about the people I sleep with.
Yeah, but you don't hire them and pay them a boatload of the county's funds.
No, that's true. I don't do that.
And then go on. I mean, that's one thing, but then they go on cruises, at least two cruises.
Yeah, so they're acting like a couple.
They have the biggest career of both, or the biggest case of both of their careers. You'd think they'd want to be like boning up a little bit to make sure.
Okay, my question is though, again, I'm going to try and put a Valentine spin on this.
Yeah.
What if they're just in love?
They could be. Yeah.
You can't control who you love.
Although from some of the descriptions later that Fani gives, I don't think she's as in love with him.
So it's not as mutual of a relationship as we think.
Right. Yeah. It's like a Wendy Adelson, Jeff Lacoste situation.
Oh, okay.
And they asked you about receipts for dinner, receipts for drinks, hotels, bars, and restaurants. And you said you did not have any of those.
I did not and do not have any receipts for any of those things.
And you gave this affidavit.
That would be me. I do not save receipts.
Right. Yeah.
That's
honestly.
Just something that ends up on the floor of my car.
Exactly.
So I would be kind of screwed.
Refute the allegations that I had raised.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody forced you to sign this?
No, ma'am.
You chose to sign it?
I did.
And you signed it on purpose to admit into court to refute allegations?
I did.
Aida, who does? People still do. I swear. I work at an ice cream shop, and there are people that want to keep their receipt. I'm like, you're gonna write this off? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty thrilled that we do most things paperless nowadays.
You signed it specifically to prove that you were not in a relationship with Willis prior to November 2021, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You used your business credit card for these trips, correct?
I use my business credit card for everything.
Okay. Yes. You used it.
And then part of the allegations.
Okay, are you allowed? I don't mean to like run on his life, but are you allowed to use your business credit card for everything?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
How does that work?
I'm not an expert in that, but some of the allegations are okay. He paid with his business credit card, but Ms. Willis always paid him back and paid him in cash. Piles
So
and
there
piles
is
of cash.
absolutely no documentation of her paying him back.
Exactly. That's part of the problem. And you would think if you want
that would be an accounting issue.
If you don't want the appearance of impropriety, you probably want to do everything above board.
Yeah, you at least want it like documented on paper. You could have at least put it into a spreadsheet, paid in cash.
Right.
For his tuition.
Yes, ma'am.
Used it for personal travel with Miss Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have receipts from those business credit cards that you have to file with your taxes, correct?
No, ma'am.
No.
I filed a statement.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Who keeps receipts?
Yeah.
The accountant looks at it, and the accountant says, okay, this is personal, goes over here. This is business, goes over here. Here are your taxes.
Oh, I see. So he can use the card, but he doesn't get reimbursed for the personal items.
Oh, okay.
I see. I'm like, oh, we don't use our business card for anything else.
Right.
I would get too confused.
I'll pay you back in cash. Don't worry.
Right.
I have a stapled pile of $100 bills
under my mattress.
Under my mattress. Now, another thing to note is that just before Nathan went on the stand,
Look at that suit.
He's a sharp dresser.
He is looking good.
But just before he went on the stand, someone who purported to be Fani Willis's best friend testified that they started getting it on in 2019 when Fani says it happened after he was hired for the job, basically. But it's alleged that it happened a whole lot sooner.
Relationship with Miss Willis began
2022.
when?
Okay, so
that is later than 2019.
Yeah. So let's get over to Ms. Willis, and she comes in hot. She understandably is upset that her career here is basically
on the line over. Yeah,
on the line.
At the very
yeah,
least,
I mean, at the very least, she'll be removed from the case if the judge determines there's impropriety. But so she's annoyed. And
who knows what her company might do if she's removed from the case because of something like this, which means her job really could be on the line, not just with the case.
Right. I mean, she is. It's an elected position, I believe, DA.
Yeah, but can't you get booted?
I don't know.
District Attorney Fani, Fani. Last name is.
Oh, she is cocky.
Yeah.
Wow.
It gets better.
I like that color on her.
See, I
need to stop looking at clothes. That's like all I'm noticing.
It's just, she does the thing where she offers a whole lot of extra information, and it just doesn't sound truthful to me. So I wanted to see what you think.
How did you know to come into the courtroom right then?
There were people I was pacing in my office.
Okay.
And I heard someone yell, "His testimony is done." It only made sense to me that I would be your next witness. And I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today. So I ran to the courtroom.
So as soon as you heard that Mr.
Really?
Wade was done
So
she doesn't look like she's dressed for running.
The line of questioning here, I guess she wasn't supposed to be watching earlier testimony.
You just says she can be impeached. See, she can lose her job.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. I was like, elected. Guess what? We can boot out anybody if we elect them in.
And she's in the peach state appropriately.
Oh. Okay, stop.
testifying, that's when you just assumed you would be the next witness?
It only makes sense.
I saw you looking at Nathan Wade.
Dude, yeah, he's hot.
Did you listen to any of
man.
the testimony?
I've been in my office pacing, ma'am.
Did you listen to any of the arguments?
I did hear the arguments this morning. It's ridiculous to me that you lied on Monday, and yet here we still are. And I did listen to that argument.
And this is a colleague of hers, basically. So
the one questioning her is the one questioning her.
She gets questioned by both sides, but
yeah, of course, in this community, she would know them anyway. Most likely. Yeah.
Start back in 2019.
Yeah.
So you and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct. And I think in one of your motions, you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive. I stayed at that conference. Mr. Wade was my teacher. I did not meet him when he taught the class.
Okay, so we've confirmed when you met. After that, isn't it true?
No, I need to explain this, and I think I get to explain my answers. When I met him, Judge Reeves introduced us. He handed me his business card. I'm unsure if I handed him my business card, but we exchanged information. He said, if you ever need any help, give me a call. And he walked to the parking lot.
All right.
So after that, you started dating shortly thereafter, correct?
A lie. That's one of your lies.
Okay. Do you?
Wait. Okay, she's indignant and she's mad.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she keep saying the lawyer is the one lying?
Right.
I mean, all she's doing is bringing up information she's been given.
She's pissed off that she is being accused of lying, but she's calling a fellow attorney a liar.
Yeah.
It doesn't come off as the best start to, your testimony. I get being angry.
Yeah. Bama's right here. A simple yes or no answer turns into her life story.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and whenever people are lying, they've got a story.
I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to hold my comments, but I'm not a professional attorney either.
Yeah, no, that's another thing.
I'm just a layman.
I've only done one deposition ever, but I was really bad at it. Like they had to keep reminding me to say yes instead of yeah, and or I couldn't go
Right.
I had to say yes or no. I'm like, I don't talk that way. That's so weird.
Robin Yurdy?
I know her as Robin Bryant. I knew her. So
that's the best friend that we or the
supposed best
friend that testified that we're talking about, and she's not happy with what
she said.
Yeah.
Robin did not go to my college. She went to the college of I went to Howard University. She went to Morgan State. I met her through some people I knew. In college, we hung out a bit, not much because she was in Baltimore and I was in Washington, D.C.
It sounds like when Stephanie Lazarus was asked when she met
about all the people she knew in college.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
But we hung out a bit. After college, I lost contact with her. I probably didn't see Robin again until maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay, pause it.
So,
she could literally have just said, we hung out a little bit in college, but I haven't honestly seen her since such and such a date.
Yeah. You
Didn't
wouldn't
talk
think you
to
would
her,
want to.
but we reconnected 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, what is with all the other things, you know?
You wouldn't think you would want to keep talking and potentially open the door for some
Not only
other,
that, she's a lawyer. She should know that.
I have known her probably since 1990, 1991, but we have not maintained a consistent relationship that whole time.
For the last 10 years.
Renee, yes, that is the first thing I saw when she popped up. It's like she's not wearing one at all.
Oh my God.
They're just resting there.
No comment.
5, whatever you'd like to classify it as. Have you been friends with her?
I have not spoken to Robin in over a year. I certainly do not consider her a friend now. I think that she, there's a saying, no good deed goes unpunished. And I think that she betrayed our friendship.
Okay, wait, who's the person on the left?
That is the lawyer that's questioning her. Who also works for the state.
It's just so weird. In like a quick glance, I thought it was a doctor because she's got like blue on and a white jacket.
Oh, yeah, she looks like a medical professional.
I'm like, is she telling you that your mom's dying? Like
2019, you all were friends, correct?
Yes, we knew each other in 2019.
During 2020, you all were friends, correct?
We were friends during that time period.
During 2021, you all were friends, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And such good friends that when you needed a place to stay, you asked her if you could take over her lease.
That's a lie.
You did not move into her apartment?
I did, but that's not the way you characterize it is wrong.
I asked if you could take over her lease.
I did not ask if I could take over her lease.
Did you move into her apartment?
I moved into her condo in April of 21.
Oh, we have to tell it's a condo, not an apartment. By the way, I don't know the difference.
This is like when you ask your teenager to wash the dishes, but they're sitting there wet and full of soap. Well, you didn't tell me to rinse the dishes.
He's like, I was just soaking.
It's a condo.
I'm just saying, like a condo and an apartment. Most of the time, they're just in a building and you have shared walls. And what's the difference?
Were that Robin met her husband. They wanted to move into another and separate place. she wanted to get rid of her condo. My father was living with me at the house. Because of this case and because of my stance on gangs, my life was being threatened regularly.
Excuse her, it's a condo. That's right. Yeah.
My father urged me to leave our home. At the same time, as luck would have it, Robin wanted to give up her lease because she wanted to move in with this new man she met.
So after denying that she took over the lease, she admits that she took over the lease.
Right, yeah.
It was just about how the question
But she
was
didn't
asked.
ask her to take over the lease.
Right.
And that's what she's
not at
getting
her
all
request.
specific about.
Time that you said you had to move out of your house because you were scared, did your dad stay there at your house?
My father was concerned. Yes, we were both concerned.
Okay, but he remained there.
My father was 80 years old. He would have been 79. He was scared to death of COVID. You have to go back to when this was. My father's an older man. I wanted him to move out. We had some discussions about him moving out, and what he decided was the risk of COVID was more dangerous than the risk of the people that were threatening.
No, this was yesterday. Her father testified today. I haven't seen any of that. Let us know in the comments or the chat if you've seen that.
Yeah, has he contradicted anything she's saying about him?
I don't know.
Typical man, more worried about his daughter and his grandchildren than his own safety.
And what's the first time you went on vacation with Mr. Wade?
I think the first time we went on vacation was around April of 22, and it's a vacation is a stretch, but I'm trying to be comprehensive. I recall April of 22. His birthday is March the 18th. So that would have been his 49th birthday.
It is just a dime a day, Wendy. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, and thank you for your support of our channel.
I took him to like Tennessee for the day. I think we went to a museum. I think we might have stayed the night. I'm not sure. But I mean, Tennessee's kind of hard to call a vacation, but I just am trying to be inclusive. Mr. Wade is a world traveler. I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents. And so he has both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent. I don't know anything about either of those kind of travel agents. So he is the one that would book the travel, but we need to be clear when we're talking about just because he booked it doesn't mean, like, I don't consider him having taken me anyplace. Let me just be honest. The only one that's ever taken somebody someplace is for his 50th birthday. I consider that I took him to Belize. And I took him to Belize because
Gosh.
Nobody takes Fani Willis anywhere. She takes. And
she lets you pay for it.
she makes a few comments that suggest she's not fond of men, but throws them under the bus, shall we say.
You know, I don't want to discuss his personal business, but I'm happy Mr. Wade is still here with us. And I did 50 big, very big.
I did 50 big.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to discuss his personal, and she says something else about this later. So it sounds like she's insinuating she's glad he's here with us, that he had some kind of life-threatening condition or something. And we go on to learn a little bit about that later.
Okay, he looks pretty healthy to me.
Yeah, so
okay.
She talks about it without talking about it.
So he called his cruise agent and he booked that through them because he has a cruise agent. Right?
And there's the trim on her jacket looks like a stethoscope string.
So has a regular agent. I don't know the cruise agent's name.
So I wasn't asking about his travel agent. I was just asking if he paid for those.
He did not, though.
Okay.
Because the reason I consider that he did not is I gave him his money back.
So she's asking if he paid for this with his card. Well, she doesn't consider it that he paid because she eventually gave it back in cash.
I was about to ask that, but initially he paid.
Okay, I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Now, I do things with my friends a lot, okay? And if I buy tickets for where we're going, while we are in the same room, I get a Zelle or a Venmo directly from my friend.
And then you have a receipt.
Right away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't pay me back for that concert way later and vice versa. It's like, oh, you're going to put it on your card. Okay, I'll just send you some money.
It's a whole lot of unnecessary, like,
she came up with details that they couldn't track. That's all she did. She's sitting there with her saggy boobs lying.
And she pays she pays him with a pile of cash.
What the hell? What is she, gangsta?
Well,
what?
Later on, she tells a very Charlie Adelson-esque story about why she has cash in her home.
Oh my gosh.
You want to,
because her dad's afraid of COVID or something.
Yeah, he called his cruise agent. Like, I think they have his card on record. They do whatever. You have to remember, he paid for that initial was me, him, and his mother.
And then after that cruise, you all flew to Aruba and spent a couple days in a hotel there, correct?
Right. And his mother was not happy.
He initially paid for that. He initially paid for that.
For Aruba, yes, ma'am.
They left the mother behind.
Ooh, Bama says her dad answers the same way. So their stories are a little
put together as well. I mean, you know, sure, you prepare for court, but yeah.
So let's talk about both of those. I know he initially paid for it. Did you pay him back?
For the cruise and for Aruba. Yeah, I gave him his money before we ever
Yep,
went.
Wendy, this is the DA.
Yes. Yeah, the Fulton County DA, who is accused of improprieties about hiring her sweetheart for a sweetheart job and then going on lavish vacations, potentially at taxpayers' expense. Don't know. So
is Wade in any kind of trouble?
I mean, he's in less trouble than she is, but
so he's kind of like, if it was a student-teacher relationship, she's the teacher.
I'm
in
not
this
sure
scenario.
what kind of consequences either of them could face, but whether or not she stays on this case hinges on this, and then that would be a whole delay and everything. So it's you would think the most important case of your life, you might want to stay away from the shenanigans.
Right.
On that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
You would not go to the ATM?
No.
Okay. So
no, lady.
Fulton County pays you direct deposit, I assume?
Yes, Fulton County and the state of Georgia both pay me direct deposits.
Okay. So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank?
I have money in my house.
You have money in your house. So it was just money that was there.
Funny how she's saying that with a finger over her mouth.
Was it oh yeah, right.
You know,
like
she's nervous.
Get away.
She's trying to look cocky, but she's nervous.
Is it stapled?
When you meet my father, he's going to tell you as a woman, you should always have, which I don't have, so let's don't tell him that. You should have at least 6 months in cash at your house at all times. Now, I don't know why this old black man feels like that, but he does.
It seems like you're inviting someone to break into your home.
Yeah, she repeatedly says how much cash.
You're only doing that if you plan on having to make a quick run.
Are you so this is the thing women do. Are you going to tell me where our huge stockpile of cash is in this house before I'm dead? Or
no, it's going to burn with the house.
Okay.
Growing up, my daddy had 3 safes in the house. All my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to. I don't go on many dates, but when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
Okay. So
I was actually told that by my mom. She's like, if he's a jerk and you got to get a cab home, like, always have money on you.
So Tiffie Lou and I have been boyfriend and girlfriends, in high school. Then we broke up and got back together later in life. But when we were in high school, I was not, schooled in the art of treating a lady
like anything, like a person.
Yeah, I was a dumb kid. So tell them about the time that, what was I going to say?
Are you stoned?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Oh my gosh, I have to go back a few seconds here.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Something she said reminded me of that. Let's go back.
I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to. I don't go on many dates, but when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
All right, so that time I took you to Denny's, And
oh my gosh. That wasn't even when we were first dating. What's sad is this is like 3 years.
Okay.
You were like 20.
like
This is embarrassing.
all right. Tell the folks.
He asks me to go to breakfast with him to Denny's. Okay. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because someone invited me to breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, well, you know what? I only got like $5, but I'll order at least cheap enough so I can cover it if I have to. So we go to Denny's. I order my cheap ass breakfast. And then I excuse myself to the restroom. And when I come back, Andrew says, you know, I can pick up breakfast. I can cover this. And I'm thinking in my head, I thought you were going to cover it. And then I go on to say, oh, no, it's fine. Because I'm like, apparently this is an issue. And then he goes, look, I know you only have $5 and they don't run that special at this Denny. So I'll just get it. Yeah.
I had looked in your wallet.
Roma. He went and looked at my wallet when I went to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, I was such an asshole.
Yeah.
So you can't identify when you came into this cash or where the cash came from.
I didn't say I couldn't identify it. No, nobody gives me anything. I am sure that the source of the money is always the work, sweat, and tears of me. What you asked me for is...
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
When I was 12, I bought my crush Valentine's Day candy, but decided to eat half the box myself.
I would do that.
That's something I would do these days.
I know.
When did the money go in there? What I am trying to tell you is, so I got divorced in 2005 from my husband. No. It's important. You said, where did the money come from? And I need to tell you where the money came from. And so for many, many years, I have kept money in my house. That money in my worst days has probably only been $500 or $1,000. At my best days, I probably had $15,000 in my house at cash.
So she's worried about threats, but she's advertising that she keeps a load
All
of
this cash in her house. Not to mention, if she was smart, forget about how much cash she has lying around. As an attorney, she knows that if she's going to do this pay him back crap, there's got to be a receipt.
Right.
There has to be. She knows that if she was arguing this case, she would demand to see
she would
receipts.
use that against,
so she's just stupid and a liar.
At all times, there's going to be cash in my house.
And you all stayed in Napa Valley and he paid for the plane tickets and the hotel?
He paid for the plane tickets and the hotel.
And what did you pay for on that trip?
I gave him much less cash that time, probably $400 or $500, and then I paid for a bunch of stuff. I think we did 2 different wine.
Oh, Wesley just walked back in the room.
Hey.
My gosh, you've missed almost the whole thing.
Well, don't worry. We haven't gotten to underwear Russ yet.
You'll have to move on to replay after this.
Yep. This is Fani Willis, the prosecutor in Fulton County, Georgia, on the election interference trial.
That you do, which are pretty expensive. I think I bought him. He likes wine. I don't really like wine, to be honest with you. I like Grey Goose.
I like Grey Goose.
Okay.
I bought him a bottle of wine while we were there, and the sippings that you do. I can't remember how many, like 4 or 5 different places you go.
Your security detail, did they take you to and from your house?
So I haven't been able to enjoy my home.
Condo, I'm sorry.
In March.
Where you lay your head? Did they take you to and from where you lay your head?
99% of the time.
Would they take Mr. Wade to and from wherever you laid your head?
That has never in the history of ever happened, ever, okay?
Your security team has never taken him?
From my house? That's a lie.
Okay, that's a question that could be answered with a simple no, or even no, absolutely not.
Yeah, but no, instead you're just calling someone a liar.
The way it goes on, it just makes me think, oh, well, I don't know now.
I'm asking if they've ever taken him anywhere.
And I'm telling you that that's never happened.
So your security team has never taken Mr. Wade
My security team has never taken...
It's strange, dude. Yeah, she's a district attorney. She would have a security team.
Yeah.
Mr. Wade from any place where
a very prominent public figure, especially during this case.
Have lived in
dude, Wendy, I agree, because the way she said it like such a snob.
That's top shelf vodka, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know what it tastes like. Let me just say that. Okay.
Never, not once, not ever.
Have they ever taken the 2 of you together?
To where?
Anywhere.
We've left this building and gone to lunch, but I go to lunch so rarely that is a very rare occasion. I am sure, and let me be clear, it wouldn't just be Mr. Wade. So I'm sure my security team has taken me to lunch. Probably been a time I've left here 7 o'clock, gone to get something to eat, and I don't even know that they would have taken him or if he would have driven himself.
So it goes from never ever
To possibly.
did they take him to well, I can't remember if they might have taken him.
I guess it
But-
could have happened.
That's weird.
They've taken me to do that, but we're talking very few, very far in between.
Okay. You have to file as part of your job something called an income and financial disclosure report, correct?
That's correct.
And you filed your first one. So you filed 2 to date. Is that right?
Is it 2 or 3? I probably would have filed 21, 22. And
I haven't noticed, but now I'm going to zoom in and see.
maybe I haven't filed 23 yet, because isn't it due like June of the next year?
April, I believe. So you filed, let's see, you filed your first one. It looks like April 15th, 2022. And
Women are vicious with one another, aren't they?
Zoom in.
your second one, April 17th, 2023. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, she is getting a higher
I don't
forehead
remember
than
the
she
dates,
started with.
You're an officer of the court, and I hope you're telling the truth now.
When did your personal relationship with Mr. Wade end?
Our personal relationship ended in this year. So let's be very clear so that we don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like they each have the thing that the other one needs.
Don't mix words. I don't want to mix words in here. Mr. Wade is my friend right now. Mr. Wade, I would say, has been my friend since 2020. I think he started out as like a mentor and a professional colleague. He became my friend and somebody that I really respected. I feel very indebted to Mr. Wade for taking on the task of this job.
Right?
Brilliant observation.
When did your romantic relationship with Mr. Wade end? Did it end?
Me and Mr. Wade, we are good friends.
Sounding again like Stephanie Lazarus. We were good friends.
My respect for him has grown over these 7 weeks of attacks. We are very good friends. I think, but for these attacks, it would have been a friendship that, as life goes, he would have stopped having. I think that you have
Yeah, I
cemented.
know it's
It was just
bad.
a temporary.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't care that she wears a wig, but she's got to know it's slipping. She's
Oh.
got to know. But you can't bet if she goes to fix it, she draws attention to it for everyone.
I know nothing about these things.
You don't know about wigs. You've worn
just-
wigs.
I think that me and Mr. Wade, so he's a man, he probably would say June or July. I would say we had a tough conversation in August. So that men in relationships at the end of physical intimacy, women in relationships when that tough conversation takes place.
Has he?
Wait,
So she's saying that men view the relationship over when they stop boinking, but women, it's when that tough conversation happens. So
what's the tough conversation?
I don't know. She's just
Let's break up.
getting in another dig when she can.
I don't even know
Ever
what she's
visited
talking.
you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one.
Well,
you
I don't know
lied
what the
right-
fuck you're saying either. You know?
Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie.
It is going to fall off.
Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
She gets 5 minutes. She'll
While we're
fix it.
talking about professionalism, while we're
And this is after the 5-minute break.
talking about professionalism, she put in 3 different documents he
You'll
lived
have
with me
full opportunity to respond.
In
and filed
2000
that with the court.
in
professional.
2019.
He's never been to South Fulton. In 2019, I lived in South Fulton. He has never been to my residence in 2019.
Okay, so they're asking if he was
I
ever.
agree, is strange. The initial conversation is the tough one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's painful. That's terrifying.
So she's being asked whether Mr. Wade visited her at her residence in Fulton County in 2019.
And she's saying no.
Right.
Ever, not once. Let me help you out. I lived there in 2020. He never came to my house in 2020, let alone live with me, as you put falsely in these documents. In the first 3 months of 2021, when I could still enjoy my home, Mr. Wade never came to South Fulton, and it is certainly a lie that he lived with me.
She's a little bit like Trump in that she says way more than she has to
But Nanya
on the
said-
stand. She's sassy, just like Nancy Brophy. Yeah.
What's crazy
Shout
is
out to Nancy Brophy.
the Wade guy, he went up and was smiling and kind of engaging with the lawyer.
Yeah,
And she went up on attack from the beginning.
He clearly didn't want to be there either, but
Yeah,
he was
but-
respectful. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And
It's
she
just-
came up angry,
right.
you know?
He ever visits you at a place that you resided?
Okay, I don't understand. You're about to give me guys. In 2020, I lived in South Fulton.
Okay.
That's the only place I lived in South Fulton. That's before I had to abandon my home, Judge.
All right.
And at my
Well,
home
I
in
think we're gonna
South
clarify
Fulton,
this. We'll break it
he never came there, okay? So if you don't come someplace, you can't live there.
Ms. Willis, I'm going to have to caution you. This is going to be my first time I have to caution you. We have to listen to the questions as asked. And if this happens again and again, I'm going to have no choice but to strike your testimony.
So she's just been admonished by the judge. For
Yeah,
the first
I'm
time.
like, oh gosh, this is what they do. They basically do ask the same question different ways.
Mhm.
That's what they do to
Yeah.
try and trip up the facts.
Right, and then she's offering all this other kind of
And then
extraneous
she's mad that they
information
keep asking the same question.
yeah,
Mr. Wade,
because she's not giving very clear
But
answers.
the thing is, she's the lawyer. She knows how it works.
Well, yeah,
Why
I mean,
is she
she's-
acting so surprised?
well, she's a politician as well, so
Oh, Sparkles got here.
Hey, Sparkles, welcome.
Hey.
No worries. Hope you enjoy the replay, and we're thankful you're here.
did he ever visit you at the condo that you leased from Miss Yurdi?
He visited that condo, yes.
He did.
Yes.
Lie. You don't. Why would you do a mouth exercise? Because you're trying to
Oh,
distract from their
interesting.
face.
You've been watching body language videos, haven't you?
No, I'm just a really good liar. That's
I
all.
got you right. Yeah, the tongue poke in the cheek.
Yeah,
is
you're
never,
nervous, you're uncomfortable, and you're trying to act like you're cool.
or she could be angry, right?
No, she's faking angry. If she's
Ah,
angry enough, then they'll take her seriously.
I see.
Did he ever spend the night at that condo?
No.
Just visited.
Yeah, but he did visit for sure.
So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my
Are you
question was,
telling
do
me
you
that
have
I'm
any
lying to you?
proof?
Is that what you're intimating right here?
I'm asking if you have any proof that
Why
you
don't
paid.
you just answer the freaking questions?
She's-
Write it on a napkin?
She's saying
something?
My own testimony is the proof.
Yeah.
Are you calling me a liar? Well, Fani was
yeah,
calling her a
That's
liar.
why we're here.
Yikes.
The proof is what I just told you.
You have no written proof. Is that correct?
So I have some, probably some transactions like in Belize. I probably spent $500 on my card in Belize. I spent $900 on each of our tickets to go to Belize. I did the $700. I probably got some minor expenses in Aruba that would be on a card. But for the most part, for those trips, other than, so the 2 cruises, I gave him money for those before we ever left.
2 cruises and a trip to Belize.
And that's all work related?
Well, I mean, she presumably should be working, I would think.
Well, he used the business credit card for the trip.
Oh, yeah. He uses that for everything. Though.
That's
Because they were
true.
let me answer.
Well, the question was if you had any written proof. And so
So I've answered you that I've had written
we
proof.
can move
for
to the next question. If you've answered if you had any written proof, and that was my question.
I want to make sure that we're clear that for the 2 cruises.
Judge,
and that's
I
the
asked if
cruise
she gave
plus
him written
Aruba.
proof.
We're not going to talk over each other. Ms. Merchant, she answered your question, so we can ask the next question. Ms. Willis and Ms. Cross will have plenty of opportunities to let you clarify your answers when it's her turn.
Okay, yeah. So she was asking the same question that had already been answered, but in the flurry of responses,
but she's not giving a direct answer in general.
Yeah.
Are you aware that Fulton County requires you to disclose any relationship with someone that you're doing business with?
I'm not aware, and I know often that things are confused with state constitutional officers in county, but I'm not aware.
Who in the prosecution team knew?
Now this is another lawyer from the same team, or no, this is the lawyer from the defense, I believe.
Of your personal
from Trump's side.
Right. Okay.
Relationship, and now I'm talking romantic with
Which
Mr.
is
Wade.
technically her team. She's defense for Trump, right?
Fani Willis?
Yeah.
No, Fani Willis is for the prosecution.
Oh, I thought okay.
She had just been questioned by her own colleagues, and now
so that's how she was talking to her own colleagues, calling them a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So, sir, I am extremely private.
All I asked is who knew. It's not. The answer is no one knew, that's fine.
No.
I ask you who knew.
You can answer it and then explain this, Willis.
I am very private. When I supervised Mr. Body and Mr. McAfee, they didn't know who I was dating, but I can assure you I was dating somebody. So that I kept something private, that's my private life, is not any mystery to anyone.
You did.
Yeah, but I mean, that would totally be the case if she hadn't hired him for this huge job and paid him, out of county funds. That's the issue. I mean, we don't care who you're, with.
Didn't inform anyone on the prosecution team that the individual that you had chosen to lead the prosecution team had a personal relationship with you.
So
Is that correct?
That's inaccurate. Your question is inaccurate.
What?
Because you stated that the person I chose, we had a personal relationship. So we had a friendship. We have all these distinguishing factors. Remember, when I chose him in November of 21, first of all, let's get this straight. Mr. Wade was not actually my first choice. That's no insult to him.
Your Honor,
No, it is you, because of the way you phrased the question. You said, when I chose him, I didn't inform people of a personal relationship. We have defined personal as romantic.
Seriously?
Didn't she pay for his divorce? Oh, really?
Whoa!
I hadn't seen that factoid, but
in cash.
it was one of those bundles of cash she had laying around.
It is an inaccurate way to state the question.
Then I will certainly restate it so it is very accurate.
Okay, and please do not yell at me.
All right. Good night, Renee.
Good night, Renee. Yeah, it is getting late out there.
So that we're clear, the physical relationship ended pre-indictment.
And is that when you were talking about the tough conversation?
But I'm not sure that the tough conversation didn't happen until after, but the physical relationship.
Did she ever explain what the tough conversation is?
No. Well, she goes on to detail an argument they had, I believe.
Sure, if you ask Mr. Wade, because he's a male, he would say we ended June or July because physical contact ended then. Just in my mind, being a woman, it's over when you have that hard conversation. I just think women and men think differently.
We're just like baboons. I mean, we, us men.
You drag your little hands around the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we just care about the physical, right?
Romantic relationship ended before the indictment was returned, yes or no?
To a man, yes.
Well, to a man, yes. To you, no?
She's explained this, Mr. Sadown. She's explained this.
And did the forthcoming indictment have anything to do with that?
Ooh.
Or was it just a coincidence?
Let's go on and have the conversation.
I'm just asking you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money.
Answer a question.
Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion.
The wig even knows she's lying.
It wants no part of this.
It's like, I need to get out of this.
A man is not a plan.
I know.
And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
Last area, briefly.
Yes, sir.
You had contact with Mr. Wade in the year 2020, correct?
I had some contact with Mr. Wade.
Would you explain when you say some contact? Please tell us, talking about 2020.
I had some contact with Mr. Wade in 2020. One of the reasons your allegations are so preposterous, or Ms. Merchants, that you have joined is...
Ma'am, I didn't ask you about the allegations. I asked you about your contact. That's all I ask you, okay? I appreciate that you want to say something, but I'm interested in, did you have contacts with Mr. Wade in 2020? And your answer so far has been yes, correct?
Very limited contact because Mr. Wade had a form of cancer that makes your allegations somewhat ridiculous.
All right. Sparkles has suggestions for us.
I nominate Wesley John Holmes and Nunya and Bama Green Eyes. The strange one. Oh, yeah, for possible mod openings. Yeah. You want to hand out some wrenches over there, Tiffie Lou?
I don't even know how. That's your job.
You got to be careful because you can accidentally ban them while you're doing it. But let's see. Put user in timeout.
You've done that before, too.
We don't want to do that, do we?
Okay, see, he doesn't even know how to show me how to do it.
No, you could do it on YouTube. So you can go over there. But yeah. Excellent suggestions. Yes, we will get on the wrenches right away.
I do appreciate the
I'm
characterization.
not going to emasculate a black man, but I'm just telling you.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not going to emasculate a black man.
Oh, well, since you said it slow, that helps. He heard what you said.
So
he wants to know what you mean.
She said flat out he had some type of cancer. Outed him, I guess, presumably testicular cancer. Or
how does that emasculate anyone?
Yeah, I wouldn't want
that's
my
like
medical
history
cancer
means
shared.
I'm not a girl.
But yeah,
that's silly.
Anyway, and we hope that he recovered from that.
Well,
because
of course,
he seemed like a reasonable guy. I don't know.
Seemed like he recovered.
Moving on. When last we checked in with Russell Williams, he was still being grilled by Jim Smith.
This is the goatee head guy. Yeah.
Yes, he's got a goatee on his forehead, and asking him, he had just detailed what happened the night he killed Jessica Lloyd on that Friday night, and then that's Jessica Lloyd, and then he returned to Tweed. He went flying the next day and then returned to his home in Ottawa. And that's where we're picking up here, I believe.
So you get home, you're in Ottawa, what do? You go to bed or stay up? Okay. So then
went to bed and slept like a baby.
What do you do the next day?
No, we saved him just for you, Sparkles.
Yeah, we saved the best for last. You can't beat old Russie.
I did some stuff. I can't remember what was going on that day. You know, putting together the new house. And I headed back to Tweed that night.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Sorry. No, I did. I had Monday off. That's right. I had Monday off, and then I was visiting one of the units in Ottawa on Tuesday. So I didn't head back to Tweed till Tuesday night.
Okay. So you get back to Tweed, and what happens next?
And that's where he brought Jessica, I believe, right to the home in Tweed.
Mm-hmm.
Russell must be getting close to retiring his thong there.
Took Jessica's body to that spot.
Okay. That happened on Tuesday night? Just this past Tuesday, obviously. Okay. Do you remember what time that was?
It was pretty late. It was midnight-ish. I'd say between midnight and 1 on Wednesday morning.
Okay. What made you decide to measure that distance? That 0.7 kilometers?
That's just the way I am.
It's all about numbers and all about
Have to know the numbers.
logic. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a type A guy.
And how did you
Pilot.
leave?
I just left her tucked behind a fairly large rock.
Is that duct tape still on her? And what else is on her?
A couple of towels wrapped around her head, and the top and pants. She was wearing jeans.
Okay. Did you ever go back there?
No.
Right. What other type of cleaning and things like that did you do? Anything else to kind of cover your tracks that you can think of?
Well, he wore the murder boots into the interrogation room and
So something tells me he wants to get caught.
drove the murder car. What do you think about the theory of people wanting to get caught? Do you think that's a thing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it does seem like he dropped a lot of breadcrumbs and
I think that he knew he had a problem because look how it started. It started out kind of minimal. He stole underwear. It graduated to this, and I think he knew it was only going to get worse for him. He wanted to get caught. He would not stop, and he knew he wouldn't stop.
Interesting. Yeah, and he says as much in this interview. If he hadn't been caught, probably would have continued.
Came to the house and I wiped the floor, washed the floor.
Okay. What about your truck? Did you do anything with that?
Just washed today because it was a mess. And
Yeah, it's probably a relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
But then at the same time, it took him a while to confess.
Yeah.
He was playing the game there for a minute.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I mean, he turned pretty quickly.
Yeah,
after
like
a
the
matter
minute
of
they
an hour.
mentioned a knowledge.
It's like he calculated
yeah,
it all in his head.
the
and,
footprint.
Yeah.
The DNA footprint.
And he's just, well, you got me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I borrowed this guy's shoes.
Yeah.
So Marie Franz, when did it first occur to you to go to her house?
That's her.
Well, probably in October. October, November, not quite sure, but somewhere in that time frame.
And do you remember
That's
why?
a good point. It's strange.
That's the rush of possibly getting caught. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The excitement, the thrill of
Mm-hmm.
almost being caught.
That you thought to do that?
Well, you know, she had said she lived alone.
Undoubtedly an adrenaline
One
junkie.
time I met her.
Mm-hmm.
He should have just done more skydiving.
Just trying to understand like, why her versus the dozens of other women you probably come across on a daily basis.
Bama.
The adrenaline rush, the excitement of getting new underwear. Yeah, it does something.
I
to
get
a guy.
excited about new underwear though, so I understand.
Thanks everybody for staying up late with us. This is I used to fall asleep to interrogations like this.
I know,
like I would put them
honey.
on at night. Oh man, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I still do.
Stop. thank God for earbuds.
I went out there when she wasn't home just to see where she lived. And
When did you do that?
a couple of nights before.
I bet some of you
How'd
put
you know her
these
address?
on at night.
Bama, yes, I agree. I was just kidding.
Yeah.
I was just
On the road
kidding.
for the basement.
Okay. So when you go out there a couple of nights before, do you remember what night that was? When you were there first time?
I don't, but it was within 2 or 3 nights, I think.
Okay.
Probably, well, no more than 4 anyway, something like that.
And did you actually go into her house on that occasion, or did you? Okay. So what happened that night? How'd you get into her house?
This window in the side of the basement. Side window.
Okay.
It's weird that his head's just cut off.
Just a back step a bit. How did you get to her house that first night you went there?
I drove.
What did you drive?
Those Toyo tires.
So I drove my truck.
Okay.
Finder.
Do you remember where you parked it?
Yep, I parked it. There's a bit of a division in the residential areas there. I parked it on another side. 600-700 meters away.
Okay. So not on her street, on a different street? Do you remember what street you parked on?
No, but it's actually might be the same street, but there's an interruption in the street where there's a construction zone. So.
All right, we'll wrap this up here pretty soon. The combination of that soothing background noise and his calm voice, it's kind of doing things to me.
You want to go to bed?
Yeah.
There's a pathway in between, so I think it's probably the same street.
Okay. So you go to her house, and when you went there that night, did you know that she was away?
All right, and we'll pick up at Marie-France Como's house where he hides in the basement.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Check out the membership tab, hit thumbs up and subscribe if you're enjoying yourself. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show.
Tell a friend.
And tell a friend. All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Night, night. Night, night.